Hello, welcome back. For decades, Bill Gaither stood as a beacon of gospel music, inspiring audiences with his heartfelt voice, unwavering faith, and ability to connect with people through the power of song. Alongside his wife Gloria, he built a life rooted in devotion, spirituality, and community. Their journey together was a testament to love and shared purpose. But in recent times, that journey took an unexpected and heartbreaking turn. Bill, at 85, began to experience a sharp decline in his health. What initially appeared as simple fatigue soon revealed itself to be symptoms of a more serious and chronic condition. The man, once strong enough to stand for hours on stage, now found himself struggling just to get out of bed. The news of Bill's deteriorating health came as a shock, not only to his fans, but also to those closest to him. What made the situation even more painful was that it wasn't just physical. For Gloria, this new chapter brought an emotional reckoning. She found herself facing something she had never expected, becoming the primary caretaker for her life partner. As she watched Bill, once full of life, energy, and spirit, slowly grow weaker, she was overwhelmed by a mix of sorrow, exhaustion, and unwavering love. Every day seemed to bring new challenges, and Gloria, despite her deep faith, often felt the emotional weight of watching the man she had spent her life with fade before her eyes. The life they had built together, once filled with music, travel, laughter, and joy, was now centered around doctor visits, treatments, and quiet moments that often carried an unbearable heaviness. Gloria was not only grieving the possibility of losing Bill, but also enduring the day-to-day demands of caring for someone she loved deeply. She had always been by his side, on stage, behind the scenes, and in their shared ministry. But this was different. This was a season of sacrifice, quiet courage, and deep introspection. Despite everything, Gloria remained fiercely devoted. She stayed up with him at night, made sure he was comfortable, held his hand when he was in pain, and reminisced with him about the beautiful moments they'd shared over the years. She could feel the preciousness of each day more than ever before. The bond they had was still strong, maybe stronger, because it was now anchored not in the successes they shared publicly, but in the quiet love that had carried them privately. Through decades, the emotional toll continued to grow, especially as doctors began to prepare Gloria for the inevitable. There was no specific timeline, but the reality was impossible to ignore. Bill had made his wishes clear. He wanted to pass peacefully, surrounded by faith and the people he loved. He wanted Gloria to know she didn't have to carry the weight forever. Still, for Gloria, the idea of letting go was deeply painful. She had to begin emotionally preparing herself for what would be the hardest goodbye of her life. As news spread about Bill's illness, support began to pour in from all corners of the world. Fans, friends, and family sent messages of encouragement, prayer, and love. Many shared stories of how Bill's music had touched them, helped them through difficult times, or strengthened their faith. This outpouring of love reminded Gloria that Bill's influence extended far beyond the stage. His voice, spirit, and legacy had reached countless hearts, and now those hearts were reaching back in gratitude. Their children rallied around them, offering support to Gloria and spending meaningful time with their father. These moments together were bittersweet but deeply cherished. The Gaither family, long known for their unity and message of hope, now found themselves leaning on that same foundation during a time of profound sorrow. Eventually, the day they all had been dreading arrived. Bill passed away peacefully, surrounded by the people he loved. It was a moment filled with grief, but also gratitude, for a life well lived, for a love that had endured, and for the legacy Bill left behind. In those final moments, Gloria whispered words of love and faith into his ear, holding his hand as he took his last breath. Though the pain of his absence was immense, she knew that he was now at peace and that she had honored his wishes. In the weeks and months following Bill's passing, Gloria was left to navigate life without him. It was a lonely road at times, marked by silence, where laughter once lived, and by memories that both comforted and ached. Yet through her sadness, she remained determined to honor his memory. She continued their shared mission, speaking to audiences about faith, resilience, and the enduring power of music. She leaned into the love from their fans, drawing strength from their letters and stories. Gloria found solace in revisiting the songs she and Bill had written together. Their music became a bridge to the past and a source of comfort for the present. Though he was no longer by her side physically, Bill's presence lived on in every lyric, every melody, and every heart that had been changed by their ministry. Her grief did not disappear, but it evolved. Gloria began embracing the idea that, while Bill was gone, his work, and their work together, was far from over. She spoke openly about her experiences, not just as a way to heal, but also to help others find light in their own darkness. And through it all, she carried Bill with her, not as a memory to be mourned, but as a partner whose spirit still inspired her every step. As time passed, Gloria realized that her life was entering a new phase. She had always been part of a duo, and now she stood alone in the public eye, yet she did so with grace and quiet strength, continuing to spread the message they had championed together. The support from the Gaither community was constant and sincere. Fans honored Bill by sharing his songs, recounting their memories, and keeping his legacy alive through their own acts of faith and kindness. A small intimate memorial service was held in their hometown church. There were no grand speeches or performances, just heartfelt stories, soft tears, and the music that had defined Bill's life. As the hymn, "Because He Lives" played, Gloria clutched the well-worn Bible Bill had carried on tour. That song, written during a challenging time in their lives, now carried a deeper meaning for her. It was a reminder that life still held purpose and promise because of faith. When Gloria stood to speak at the service, her words were simple and powerful. She thanked everyone for their love and support, and echoed a sentiment that had defined their lives. That music, at its best, brings people closer to God. Her voice didn't waver. She didn't need to say much. Her presence alone, calm and steadfast, was a message of its own. In the days that followed, Gloria quietly returned home. She didn't seek attention or make public declarations. Instead, she focused on carrying the legacy she and Bill had built together with humility and dedication. It wasn't about fame or recognition. It was about continuing the work of faith they had begun, side by side. Even though Bill was no longer present in the way the world had known him, his influence continued to echo through every note of the music they had created, and Gloria, though now walking a different path, did so with the same unwavering belief that had guided them both for decades. Her farewell wasn't loud or dramatic. It was filled with grace, peace, and faith, the kind of farewell that speaks volumes without saying much at all. And while the curtain may have closed on one chapter, the music they made together ensured that their story would never truly end. Their voices, his in song, hers in strength, will live on in the hearts of those they touched, now and always.